You can tweet the show at #GMFB. Let's welcome in Will Selva out in the newsroom in Los Angeles this morning. Will, hot scoop on my side. I have Madden codes to give away.
Yeah.
So stay tuned on Twitter. I'm giving out some Madden codes today. Madden 19, #that.
Nice. Okay. All right. Everybody stay tuned for that. That's what we like to call a little tease in the business, and well done out of UK. Good morning to you, and good morning, everyone. And the Eagles initially calling Nick Foles' injury as upper body soreness, which could have meant anything, right? The ambiguity went from clarity, thanks to the Super Bowl MVP himself. Foles says he's been experiencing muscle spasms in his neck and shoulder area. He says it isn't something that's considered serious at this point, and the team is just being cautious. These muscle spasms aren't related to the elbow issue he battled last season, by the way. He sat out 3 straight practices and isn't sure if he'll play in tomorrow's preseason opener against the Steelers. The man Foles is backing up. Carson Wentz has gone 8 straight practices without taking part in 11 on 11. Wentz will be watching from the sidelines tomorrow, and he may not take a snap at all this preseason. Still, he's focused on being ready for week 1 when it counts.
I mean, it's frustrating. I mean, obviously, getting the chance to get out there and everything, I mean, felt great. You know, it was fun to be out there, but again, just trusting what the doctors are saying, and without a doubt, it's tough to just sit there and watch. I mean, I did it all last offseason. Now, kind of getting your feet wet, but kind of going in and out. It's not what I'd like, but it's, you know, I'm making the most of it as we go here.
Well, on the other side of this preseason tilt, Steelers wide receiver Antonio Brown returning to training camp after missing the last 5 days with an undisclosed injury. Brown did take part in Tuesday's walkthrough, however. Head coach Mike Tomlin says AB will return to the practice field after the preseason opener. And as we showed you yesterday, Brown has the life and he knows how to live. Apparently so do his fans. Check out this tattoo a fan got of AB on his toe. Brown does go by the name Tony Toe Tap, so I guess it's very fitting right there. But if somehow Latavius Murray does do a TD celebration involving Good Morning Football, and Kyle says that he would get a tattoo, I think maybe that's the ticket. He needs to get it on his toe. That's just a thought.
True. I mean, Nate has Mitchell and Ness. And Peter has Patrick Mahomes, and I have a bolt for the Chargers, and we're all just a big inked-up family here.
Okay, we got a new segment, Toe Tat Swag. I think it's going to be good. Nate can do that, right? You that, Nate?
Well done.
I love that.
Yeah.
Hey, Will, how do you say holy interception in Spanish?
Intercepción increíble. You know, a holy interception is increíble intercepción is what I would say.
Increíble intercepción is what's on the way right now, Will Silva. We appreciate you, of course. I had to stand up for this one. Gentlemen, take a look at the incredible wonder that is Jalen Ramsey and what he did at camp just yesterday. Sure, he missed a couple of days. He had a daughter, showed up late to training camp. He was excused. Take a look, guys. Feast your eyes on this. Talk to me.
Oh, it gets his guy.
Talk to me.
What are you going to do with it, Jalen? Oh, hold on. Come on, Blake. Don't look at 20.
Okay. All right. Listen, you got to look him off. You know Jalen's going to be all over that thing.
What are we supposed to do? Throw to AJ?
That's nasty right
Had
there.
that DeAndre Hopkins feel from Christmas
Kind of
Day.
like backhanding it a little bit. Yeah.
Intercepción increíble. And he sat down with our guy, MJD, after practice yesterday.
Blake threw a beautiful ball and a go ball. I originally thought you were beat. I saw the receiver kind of whip around you, try to stack you. Talk about that whole play and then just what was going through your mind when the ball was in the air.
We've been grinding, man. Just grinding and grinding and grinding. Trying to compete, trying to make each other better. I tell the receivers all the time, if it's up to me, if it's solely on me, I'm gonna make y'all the best receivers in this league.
No question.
Because I'm gonna go at y'all, and I want y'all to come at me. And you know, we give each other pointers. You know, I try to, hey, y'all can maybe get me here. Try this today. I'm gonna do this. We doing things differently. So we've been competing. And Dante, he got me earlier in the practice on a ball. I ain't really get no hands on him. He beat me on a go ball on the sideline, got it in. So I had to come back and get him back to end the practice.
You guys had it right there. Chance to go to the Super Bowl, do all those things. And was that kind of part of that motivating factor, getting back in the offseason, just getting ready to have a great camp and a great season?
Yeah, most definitely, man. I mean, nobody's worked hard to come in second. You know, that game's out the way now, but, you know, it still leaves that numb feeling and taste in our mouth. And this motivation for us to come back this year and win it all.
Wants to win it all. Don't you Fournette about me, he says. He's chiming in on how the Jaguars are planning to take the next step this season. So a little preview of a Whiteboard Wednesday segment, if you will. Got a little taste, a little appetizer. If the Jags win Super Bowl 53, and they very well could, who's the guy responsible? Who's the poster child for their Super Bowl run?
10 toes down, Duval. I'm going Telvin Smith. I look at Telvin Smith because of what Paul Posluszny leaves behind him is this void in leadership on defense. This was the best defense in football, if you ask me, last year. And this guy's the most underappreciated superstar. I think the top 100 players in the NFL, when they did the vote, they greatly did him a disjustice because this guy is unbelievable. If you don't know his name, Telvin Smith, leader of the defense this year. Posluszny gone, and 10 toes down.
10 toes down.
Is this the year he explodes as a superstar? Let's do it, Telvin. I'm going to talk about two guys who we love. We bump them on the show all the time. They're constantly represented. Tommy Bohannon and Ben Koyak. Now, let me tell you what I mean by that. Let me tell you exactly what I mean. This team cannot just be Fournette, defense, dump down. Both these guys had big-time touchdowns in the playoffs. If they're going to make a run, they need the Koyaks and Bohannons of the world to step up. What do I mean? Last year, Corey Clement, Danny Amendola, guys named Josh Hill and Zach Lyons scored playoff touchdowns in the NFL last year. They need role players to step up because Fournette in the defense is enough to get you to the playoffs. It is not enough to get to the Super Bowl. We need the Bohannons and the Koyaks. Role players, Jaguars, those are my guys.
All right, I'm going to go with a guy that doesn't get enough respect in this league. And I'm going to start calling him the BB gun this year, and that's Blake Bortles. Listen, I feel like at all the quarterbacks in the league, he's continually disrespected. Even after winning big games, playing at a high level, it's low-hanging fruit. You know, people want to look at years past and say, oh, well, he turned the ball over. And, you know, nobody's had more interceptions over this period of time. Forget about that. It's what have you done for me lately, league. Some of your favorite quarterbacks sucked last year. Blake Bortles stepped his game up last year, so stepped up your respect for him. And I feel like what he's been able to do, even with the receivers getting banged up, some inconsistency, he's been out playing at a high level. The moment where he needed to, when they started questioning, remember we were having the conversation about Chad Henne? Just a little shot of Henne's going to change everything. And he said, you know what, this is my job. I'm a 32 quarterback, starting quarterback in this league. And you're talking about me like I'm a third stringer. So Blake Bortles, if they make this magical run, he will be playing at a high level, and then we'll have to mention him with some of the better quarterbacks in the league.
I love that. I'll add Rambo to the mix, of course. Jalen Ramsey, I think, and Rambo, or Boye, total lockdown last year. I think they also, as you're saying, take another step up this season because they were in the postseason as great as their defense was. You know, the Pats had some big plays against them. So did the Steelers. I think now, another year under their belts, they're going to finish the job. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them in the Super Bowl. We have more whiteboards later on in the show. 12 preseason games tomorrow. ITC taking over.